relation. If that topic has to do with Cristiano Ronaldo scored 20 goals in January, and in March, he scored 50 goals. What is the percentage increase? He will never fail it. He will never fail it. So that when I teach in class, he doesn't get it, I always call him out and use it, because I know that it's football we used to get our own, and we'll now look at how we use football to get it. So that's becoming interdisciplinary. Is this clear with us, please? Hello? Hello? I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Hello? I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me now? Oh, okay. I couldn't hear you, so I was wondering if you could hear me. Okay. So let me go back to my slide. Sorry. Okay. So that's so now this is the tree diagram. So requires knowledge construction. If you can see that it requires knowledge construction, so it goes to level 1. From level 1, it goes to level 2, because if it doesn't require knowledge construction, then it stays at level 1. Now, if the main requirement is knowledge construction, then it codes at if the main requirement is knowledge construction, then it codes at level 3, but if not, it stays at level 2. And then students are applying their knowledge in new contexts. If yes, it codes at level 4. If not, it stays at level 3. And then if it becomes interdisciplinary, then it goes down to level 5. Okay, now let's look at questions here. Which one of the following statement best describes knowledge construction? I hope you can still see my screen clearly. Oh, sorry. What? I was trying to zoom in. Okay. What's your answer? The first one? Hello? Okay. Can you use the mic, because I'm not hearing you clearly? A, okay. Now let's go. Okay, good. Let's go to number 2. Consider the following activities. Learners analyze climate data from their locality, and then analyze climate data from a second location of their choice. Are learners required to apply their knowledge? A? Okay, let's go to our answer. It's a B. The first one, yes, knowledge construction activity requires learners to generate ideas and understanding that are new to them. The second one is no, because learners are simply repeating the same activity with a different data set. They're just doing the same thing. Do you understand? Eh? Hello? See the keyword. See the keyword there. It says, are learners being required to apply? When you apply your knowledge, it means you're applying your knowledge in a new context. Do you get it now? So they were just redoing the same thing, doing the same thing. It's just like I took doing the same thing. So there was nothing challenging for them. There was nothing challenging for them. Okay, let's see this one. Question 3. Okay, sorry. It says in the 21st century learning design, knowledge construction rubric, what code would an activity be where the main requirement is knowledge construction, but it does not require learners to apply their knowledge in a new context? Eh? Level 2. Okay. Are we sure? Please take note of the keyword there. The main requirement is knowledge construction. Main requirement is knowledge construction, but they're just not applying in a new context. Main requirement is knowledge construction, but they are just not applying it in a new context. So what's your answer? Level 3, okay. Level I like that. Okay, I should choose. Very good. Okay, we'll see which one is correct between 2, 3. It said, which activity is knowledge construction? Which activity is knowledge construction? Learners write a paper describing the crime a character committed. Learners writing a paper that compares and contrasts information from multiple sources. Learners write a paper that describes information they found online or in books. Okay, let's move on to our answer. For those that said I should choose one, okay. It was level 3, because at level 3, main requirement is knowledge construction. Applying knowledge is level 4, then interdependent work is level 5. Is this clear? Okay, question 5. Question 5. Consider the following activity. Learners design and execute a procedure for testing the quality of the tap water at their school. Once they have accurate data, they use that information to determine which water filtration system would be appropriate for the school. They then write a letter to the school board explaining which system the school should purchase. Educators grade learners on quality of their data and their writing skill. Is this activity interdisciplinary? What do you think? Number 3. That's yes, because they are assessed in different academic subjects, science and language arts. Okay. It's actually the third one because that was the key word. They said the educator grades learners on quality of their data. Quality of their data is science and their writing skill. That's English, which is language arts. Is this clear? Yes, so it's interdisciplinary. Okay, let's move on to skilled communication. Under skilled communication, we looked at extended communication, multimodal, requires supporting evidence, and design for a particular audience. And then we had the rubrics. The communication is not extended or multimodal. Level 1. So that means there's no communication. Communication is extended or multimodal, but no supporting evidence. Level 2. Level 3, there's supporting evidence. Or sometimes there might not be supporting evidence, but it's designed for a particular audience. Level 3. But at level 4, it must be supporting evidence and designed for a particular audience. Is this clear with us, please? Eh?
No, it's not.
Okay, so let me take it again. Level 1, no communication at all. So you can't say anything like extended multimodal. Extended multimodal means they write a full paragraph or you're seeing a mix of a video clip, an image, or something, you understand, from that makes your information more detailed. Now, that's level 2. Level 3 means, yes, we've seen that there's extended and multimodal communication, and we have supporting evidence. That means there are facts and figures to back up what you're saying. That's level 3. However, if there are no facts and figures, but it is designed for a particular audience, and please let me put this here now. When we talk about specific audience, please note, if they created their work and published it on the internet, it's not particular audience because internet is for the whole world. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if they design their work and put it on their school website, that's a particular audience because they have designed it for their school community. Are you getting the difference now? Eh?
Yes.
So if, for example, I said, oh, I created a publication on financial literacy for women in Lagos, and I posted that on the internet. I've not designed, even if my article was on financial literacy for women in Lagos, I just put it out on the internet. That means it goes to everybody, anybody, a child, an adult, anybody. But if I do that article and I now say, oh, there's a website called Lagos Moms or Lagos Women, and I put it on that particular website, then it means that I have had a particular audience in mind. Or for example, I create a book and I go and put it in my school library. It means that I have designed for a particular audience because it means the only people that have access to my school library are my students. Do you understand? But if I put it in a public library, it means I can't say it's a particular audience because old, young, small, short, tall, everybody goes there. You understand what I'm saying? Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay, so that's just this thing. So yes,
Microphone.
I'm listening.
Grandma, please, I have a question.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. Now, if I design a work that helps students understand the
It's cracking. I can barely hear you. It's cracking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. I said I created a product that teaches the rudiment of understanding when you read.
Yes.
And I place that word in a public library.
Yes.
Can I classify that as a particular audience?
No, because you have put it in a public library. A public library, even the person that does not need to understand why you read is going there.
Okay.
But if you do that and you put it in your school library, are you getting it now? That means you're designing it. It means that you have designed it for children, students, because they are the ones that will have access to that library. Do you get my point? So it's just like when I was explaining, I said, if I have to do a play, for example, I'm doing a play, let's say I want to do a play on morals. The way I would do a play on morals for senators is different from the way I'll do a play on morals for children in primary school. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Because what morals would mean for senators is different from what morals will mean for children in primary school. So that's what we call a particular audience. Yes, I'm doing a play on morals, but who? So if I have to execute the play for children in primary school, that's a particular audience and I display it for them. But if I just do a play on morals and I put it out there, so it's just like when you have the movies, there are movies they will say rated PG, this, rated G. G means general, anybody can watch. But when we say PG this, it means we have put restriction for a particular set of people to watch it. You understand it now? Okay. So let's look at some questions here. I'm going to try to zoom in. Okay, question 1. What does the skilled communication rubric examine? What does it examine? What's your answer? 2, okay. Consider the following activity. Learners are asked to produce a podcast on a hurricane for their journalism class, including a written script and the final audio podcast. Can the communication be multimodal? Can this be termed as multimodal? Eh? I can't hear you. Okay, let's see the answer. What was our answer before I move to the answer? C. I'm hearing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Which one? Okay. We'll know those that are correct. So who picked 3? It's actually 3. It's the same thing they are doing in the writing. They are also just reading it out as audio. They're not doing anything to enhance. If they had used a picture to enhance, a multimodal should be able to enhance what they are doing. Let's look at question 3. Please study skilled communication very well. That's the most tricky part when it comes to MCE exam. So please. When a learning activity codes a 3 in terms of skilled communication, what are learners required to do in the learning activity? Okay, I'm hearing 3, I'm hearing 2. We'll see who's right. Let's go to the next question. In an activity where learners are engaged in electronic communication, which of the following scenarios can be considered extended communication? So the person that picked 3 for number 1 was correct. At level 3, you could have supporting evidence or particular audience, but you can't have both. Either supporting evidence or particular audience, but you can't have both at level 3. Now, for number 2, number 1 is not correct because it says learners communicate remotely with other learners using Microsoft Teams. What are they communicating on? The reason why number 2 is more correct is that they are communicating remotely. Of course, once you're communicating remotely, it's either you're using a video conferencing or you're even doing, what we're doing now is communicating remotely. Once you're communicating remotely, you're using a technology by connecting ideas via discussion. That's the key thing there. By connecting ideas via discussion. That's the key thing that makes it, that's where the extended communication comes in. Is this clear with us, please? So the last question on skilled communication. I should zoom in. Yes. Okay. Which activity qualifies as an activity that requires learners to design their communication for a particular audience? Three. Okay. 3, 2. Which one? 3 or 2? I'm hearing 3. I'm hearing 2. Okay, let's. Okay. Correct answer is 3. In question 2. Question 2, there's no audience. Question 1 says the public. Town library is a specific community. Town library is not public. Town library is because when you say town library is not everywhere. Town library could be like where your school is now. That's your community. Yes, their library for the people in that community. So that's what makes it a specific audience. So self-regulation, we talked about long-term, and don't forget, under long-term, you must have learning objective and success criteria, isn't it? And then planning homework and revise work based on so students did not show evidence that they were aware of both learning goals and associated success criteria of evidence in their work. That means it's not long term. There's no success criteria, there's no learning goal. So level 1. Once we see long term success criteria, learning goal, level 2, but they are not planning their work. Level 3, they now start planning their work based on the learning goals and associated success criteria. Level 4, they are giving feedback, but key thing you have to take note of in level 4 is not just that they are giving feedback, but they are able to revise their work and submit it based on that feedback. Let me go to the 3 diagram, please. Level 1, if there's no long term and no learning goal or success criteria, is level 1. If there's long term learning goal and success criteria, is level 2. If students are planning their own work, you can see an evidence of planning their work. Maybe they decided that they want to do it for 2 weeks, and within the 2 weeks, the first 1 week, they are going to complete A, the next week, they are going to complete B. That's planning their own work. You can see that evidence. Then it goes to level 3. Level 4 is students have opportunity to revise work based on feedback. It is not enough to give feedback, but if they cannot revise their work before final submission based on feedback, then it is not level 4. Even if they are given feedback, because sometimes the question will come that, oh, students were given feedback, but you need to look at it and say, was this feedback used to submit the work before final submission, or was the feedback given after final submission? You now give feedback and say, oh, the reason why number 3 is not correct, or the reason why your project is completely wrong is because you didn't do X, Y, Z. No, you're expected to provide feedback and then let them work on that feedback and do some final submission. And that's where it comes in. Is this clear? So that's the basic thing about that. So let's look at some questions. Any question before we go to the questions? Any question before we go to the questions? Okay. Okay, please ask the question.
Hello. I wanted to know, concerning one of the questions we answered earlier, when you talk about writing essay, in newspapers where we have written work and there are pictures attached to it, what kind of work is that? Is it not a multimodal kind of work?
Now, the question is, does the picture give a better understanding of the what has been written?
Yes, Like a signboard where there's a picture and there's a write-up. That kind of page on the paper.
No, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if the picture gives a, how do I put it now? Enhances the story. Are you with me? So
Yes,
let me give an example. I'm
like
teaching
our
on
English comprehension textbook where you have pictures and the story below is talking about the picture above.
exactly, that is multimodal. Because that picture gives more, helps you understand the story better. Are you listening? But you see
Yes,
the other
ma'am.
question that was wrong. It's like reading um the text and listening to the audio is basically the same thing, because it's just narrating what is in the text. Are you
Okay.
are you with
Yes,
me?
ma'am. Yes, but that's reading transferred into audio.
Audio.
Exactly.
It's
Okay.
not
Thank
it's
you.
not giving me anything that makes me understand what the message is all about.
Thank you, ma'am.
So that's it. Okay, so let's look at this. Question 1. Which one of the following are prerequisite for self-regulation? Please take note of the keyword there, prerequisite. Understand what prerequisite means. So which one of the following are prerequisites for self-regulation? What do we think? Number 2. Okay. Let's go to the next question. It says, learners write persuasive essay that will be assessed according to a rubric that the educator shared with them at the beginning of the activity. When they get their graded essay back, they use the rubric to see why the educator gave them a certain grade. Is this considered self-regulation? Okay, this one said everything is a no. So that means it's already telling you that no, it's not a self-regulation. So, but why? Yes. Can you hear me? I hope you're still here. Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, so I feel like I lost you guys for a minute there. Eh? Okay. So can you still see my screen? Okay. So what do you think the answer is? Eh? Okay. Can you see it? Okay, sorry. So the main theme about the question was that some children were given an essay to write. The educator showed them what the grading rubric would be like. But after the educator had finished grading and giving them their script, they now use the grading rubric to know why they got the grades they got. So it's now saying that, well, the question is already picking it that it's not self-regulation. So it's not like you're picking a yes, but the question is, if you're saying it's a no for self-regulation, why are you saying it's a no for self-regulation? C. Okay, let's C. Okay, let's go to. Are we having B or C? C. Okay. Okay, so we're correct on both. Now the key thing, one thing I had to stress this. The question for number one was the prerequisite, because a lot of times people miss out that prerequisite and go for the learners have opportunity to plan their work and revise work based on feedback, which is the peak of self-regulation. That's the level 4 of self-regulation, but it said prerequisite, so it means the beginning was the first thing in self-regulation. And then yes, they were supposed to, it's a no, because they were supposed to have that rubric and use it as a guide to do their work, not using it at the end when they have been graded. So that's why it's a no. Okay, question 3. Let me zoom in. Okay. I hope you can see this. Eh? The answer is what? 1. Are we going with 1? Okay. Let's see number 4. It says in the self-regulation rubric, which of the following will be considered effective feedback? Effective feedback. Yes. 2. Okay. Good. So last question on this. Over the course of 2 weeks, learners work in groups to research and debate climate change with their classmates, in which of the following scenarios are they planning their own work? Okay, let's see what the answer is. Perfect, A. Okay, good. So we're now on to real world problem solving and innovation. So here we have three big ideas: problem solving, real world problem, and then innovation. And then the rubric, there was no problem solving at all, not to even talk of real world. They didn't even start to solve a problem. Then number two, they are solving a problem, but it is not a real world. For example, if I am calculating area of a rectangle based on dimension that was given to me, that's not a real world problem. But if I am calculating area of a rectangle for my room, my own room, now I'm now doing it in the real world. So I'm measuring my room length and breadth. That's the real world. You understand? So they're problem solving and then they're real world. Real world problem solving means you're doing something, you're solving a problem that affects real people. Problem solving is you're just doing an abstract thing. And then the last one is your innovative. Innovation is you implement your idea in the real world. And in a case where you don't have the capacity to implement it in the real world, you're able to pass it across to someone that can implement it in the real world. Just like I think in one of the rubrics was in knowledge construction, where they talked about it was knowledge construction, where they said students had to do a test on water in their school, and then they find out what type of water filtration. Now, when they finish, they cannot implement that water filtration process, but they wrote a letter to the school board. Now, if that letter is given to the school board, it is termed as innovation. But if the letter is just submitted to the class teacher and the class teacher marks and grades it, it is not innovation. But if the class teacher takes it and now submits it to the school board that can implement that idea, that is now termed as innovation. Is this clear with us, please? Is this clear with us? So main requirement is problem solving. Yeah, that's level 1. Are the students working on a real world problem? If it's a yes, goes to level 3. If it's a no, level 2. Now, requires innovation, it goes to level 4, but if not, it stays at level 3. Any questions, please? Any questions? Okay. Let me zoom in. Okay, it says which of the following activities can be considered real world problem solving? So let me move this so you can see. Okay, so these 3, which one is considered? Eh? Can you see the question? Can you see the question? Hello? Hello? Question 3. Option 3. Are you saying option 3? Okay. Let's go to the next question. Okay, good. Oh no, it's too small. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom in. The question is a bit lengthy, so I want to zoom in, but I want to still be able to keep all aspects of the question. Okay, it says, consider the following activities. Learners investigate 2 or more online websites or games and develop a presentation on internet safety guidelines for parents and children using Microsoft Video Editor. Their product is handed in for a grade. Is this innovation? Eh? Number 1. Okay, let's see our answers. So yes, the first one was 3, correct, because they were actually solving a real world problem, growing plants in their classroom to improve air quality. Now, the second one is also correct. No, yes, they learned about something, but they didn't communicate it to anybody that it would be beneficial to. So they didn't have an authentic audience in it. So yes. Okay, question 3. Sorry, let me zoom in. Okay, question 3 says, when we have an activity where the learning activity's main requirement is problem solving, and the problem is a real world problem, but learners don't innovate. They are not required to implement their idea in the real world. It's problem solving, it's a real world problem, but they don't innovate. They don't implement their idea in a real world. They don't communicate their idea to someone outside the academic context who can implement them. How do you code this? Is it a 2, a 3, or 4? How do you code this? Eh? 3 or 4 or 2? 3, okay. Let's go to the next question. It says, consider the big idea in real world problem solving and innovation. Which of the following would be considered problem solving tasks? Which of the following will be considered problem solving tasks? Learners investigating the parameters of the problem to guide their approach. Learners following a specific procedure given by the educator to arrive at a solution. Learners solving a series of problems based on given data sets. Which one will you consider as a problem solving task? What? 1, 2, 3. Okay, some are saying 1, some are saying 2. Let's see who is right. So the first one, yes, codes are 3. Second one is number 1. Please, any question that says learners investigate is problem solving. And any question that says the educator, once you see the educator, please mark it as wrong. It can never be correct. The educator is not supposed to be involved. So please take note of that. Even in your collaboration or anything, once they say it is the educator that this is a no. Okay. What did I do? Can we see this? Okay, it says when a learning activity is coded a 4 in terms of real-world problem solving and innovation, this indicates that the learning activity is so. Which of these 3 is a 4? What's your correct option here? Okay. So yes, B, the second one is the correct option there. So we're going to look at the last one and we'll take questions on that, which is use of ICT. So students' use of ICT for knowledge construction, ICT required for knowledge construction, and designers of ICT products. So students did not have opportunity to use ICT for learning, level 1. Students use ICT to learn or practice skills to reproduce information, level 2. Students use ICT to support knowledge construction, level 3. Students use ICT to support knowledge construction and the ICT is required for knowledge construction, level 4. Students use ICT to support knowledge construction and ICT is required for knowledge construction and students do create an ICT product for authentic users, level 5. Any question? Okay. So this is the flow diagram also. Any questions on this? Are we still there? Okay. Question 1. The ICT for learning rubric has a particular focus on the interaction of ICT and 2 others. So the ICT has a link with ICT itself and 2 other of the rubrics. We've looked at collaboration, skilled communication, self-regulation, knowledge construction, real-world problem solving. So which of these other rubrics out of the other 5, which one is tied? Can you see in play in the ICT rubric? Which 2? Is it skill communication and real world? Is it knowledge construction and real world? Or is it real world and collaboration? What? B. Number 2 or number 3? 2 or 3? 2, okay. Just a minute. Let me call you back in like 10 minutes. Okay. Sorry. Which of the following is considered learner use of ICT? Which of the following? A. A. Okay. So for the first one is knowledge construction and real world. Remember in the rubric, it says ICT used to support knowledge construction. Do we remember that from our rubric? Eh? And then it also, the highest peak of the ICT is authentic users, which is real world. You understand? So that's why it's knowledge construction and real world. And then, yes, this one too, very correct. They must use ICT directly, either to complete all or part of their learning activity. Let's look at question 3. Consider the following activity. Learners create video of their own, interviews with local community members to submit to the educator for the end of year assignment. Are learners designers of ICT products? A, B, C. Okay. Question 4. What? B or C? C. Okay. B. 2. Okay. I think we missed it. Level 5 is where you have learners create an ICT product for authentic users. That's level 5. Level 4 is that they do not create for an authentic users. There are 5. I think we missed it because maybe you were thinking there were 4 rubrics. There are 5. In the rubrics, there are 4 big ideas, so there are 5 levels. Okay? And the first one is a no. Because yes, they designed it, but they didn't give it to anybody to use. They were just designing it to submit to their educator for an end of year assignment. So it wasn't like they were designing it for people to use. Until they design it for people to use, you can't really say they are designers of an ICT product. Because, for example, let me give you an example. I write a book and I don't publish the book for anybody to read. Am I a publisher? Can you call me an author? Can I be classified as an author of a book? No. So no matter how beautiful and how lovely the book I have done is, If I don't give it to anybody, nobody reads it, I don't publish it, nobody uses it, I'm not a publisher, I'm not an author. So even if I create an app and it's the best app in the world and I don't put it out there, nobody's using it, I haven't designed anything. So that's the way it is. That's my boss calling me for. She should leave me alone. Okay, number 5. Which of the following evidence that learners create an ICT product for authentic users? Which of the following shows evidence that learners create an ICT product for authentic users? So let's look at it. Which one shows that they have created something for authentic users? Yes. C. 2. Okay. Good. All right. So let me stop share. So we've gone through questions on all aspects and we have done quite well. So it means that by the time we do 1 or 2 more reading and practice, we're good to go. But I just want to share something with everyone. Something I think would help. Just give me a minute. So I'm sure we're all used to going on Google and going on Chrome. So it depends on what app you use. If you use your Microsoft Edge, fine. If you use your Google, fine. But I know most people use Google. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to type in something here. Just see what I am typing in. Microsoft Learn. So I'm typing in Microsoft Learn and I'm going to create a search for that. Now, the first thing that pops up is training Microsoft Learn. That's the first one. I don't know what will pop up for you, but whatever pops up for the Microsoft Learn, if you check that one that has that training Microsoft Learn, and I'm clicking on it. Now, once I click on it, I'm zooming in so you can see. Now, under the training, if it doesn't pop up for training for you, it just pops up normal Microsoft Learn. Click on training. Now, under the training, can you see Educator Center here, please? Can you see the Educator Center? Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so there's an arrow. Click on that drop down arrow. Click on the drop down arrow and you can now click. When you click on the drop down arrow, there's professional development, product guide, instructors material. You can just click on educators program. When you click on, I'm trying to, because I'm click on educators program, you would see program overview, Microsoft Educator, ME trainer. There are different things. Click on Microsoft Educator. When you click on Educator program, then it would, the arrow would bring out, you click on Microsoft Educator. So once you click on Microsoft Educator, it brings you to the Microsoft Educator page. Under the Microsoft Educator page, you would see Microsoft Educator. You can click on that and start learning. But for the MCE that you're doing, under the, let me zoom in for this. Under the Microsoft Advanced Educator, if you scroll down at the bottom, you'll see Start 21st Century Learning Design. Start 21st Century Learning Design. And you click on it. So once you click on it, you would see a whole lot you can learn. So for example, we have the develop critical thinking skills with the 21st century knowledge construction, which is one of the things we've gone through. I'm just showing you this so it helps you read more. So you can read more. If you click on the one for knowledge construction, there's introduction to knowledge construction, designing learning experience with knowledge construction, rubric, knowledge construction in action, knowledge construction with Microsoft tools. You can just click on them and you're learning. So this one now, this is the rubric. So you can study it. This is the rubric, the yes, the no. He explains what the interpret means. He explains what analysis means, synthesis, evaluates. It just gives you an overview. And then it gives you ideas of, okay, what can you say it's knowledge construction, and then knowledge construction as main requirement. So you can actually go through it. There's even a video which is on YouTube. If you click on it, you can watch that video on YouTube. There are anchor lessons. And then once you finish with this one, just click on continue. It takes you to the next. Then you click on, when you finish, click on continue. If I go, it's here, knowledge construction in action. So a whole lot for you to also study as you're preparing for the assessment and all that. And then the unit check, which is the knowledge check, was the knowledge check I used for us now for us to answer the questions we answered. I got them from the knowledge check. So you can study. So basically what I'm just trying to say is you can study more on your own. And excuse me, once you're done with this, there's so much you can learn under the Educator Center. If you click on professional development, like the ICT teacher now, if you click under the professional development, you can come under STEM coding and exports. Now, there are lots of courses you can take. They're all free. You're not paying for anything. Explore the basics of Minecraft in education. It's free. You can come there, click on it. Even how do I use PowerPoint? What are the key features? It's free. You will learn everything about it on your Microsoft Learn. You understand? For the ICT teacher, bringing coding to life with Make Code is free. You learn it. You're not paying a dime for it. Is this clear with us, please? Eh? Okay. So any questions, please? Any question? Okay, I'm listening.
Mr. Dennis.
Hello, Mr. Dennis. I still don't have your number, so I don't know how I'm going to get your price to you.
070.
Eh?
My account number. Okay, let me ask my question before we go to that, please.
Okay.
Yeah, these are like the exam, some of the questions are long and there is timing. How can one, be able to assimilate, understand before you answer in order to work with the time?
Time. Okay, so let me say this now. That's why I said take your time. There are two major things you should know: the big idea and the rubric. Please know your rubric very well. Now, sometimes the question might be so lengthy, but if you know your big idea and you know your rubric, once the question pops up, once you see the question itself, before you read the whole paragraph, you already have an idea. Do you understand what I'm saying? Eh?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me see if I can find something ish. Not sure if I still have those. Just give me a minute. I'm not sure if I still have those videos. It's been a while I used them. Let me see.
Google, then you install it into a computer.
Um,
Then after
can
going
you people hear this
in
video that is playing?
research.com, create an account, then
Can you hear the video?
start
Okay.
doing an exam.
I'm just going to fast forward a bit.
Load it.
This is just like
You
what
must
an
use
exam
your
looks
face,
like. Okay.
face credentials. If you
This
like.
video is on YouTube.
Okay, then you click next.
Now,
Okay.
okay, so let me
The
pause
first
here.
thing we are
It's a
told
bit tiny, so you might not be able to see. And it's a video, so I might not be able to really say. I'm trying to zoom in to see if you can see, because it's a video, so it's a bit somehow. Okay, so now this question now says this question requires that you evaluate the underlying text to determine if it's correct. Now, it's the question is quite a bit lengthy now, but the underlying text is what you really need. So you say one of the things you should teach students is to examine the number of times an article has been shared to determine its accuracy. Now, I don't need to, I have not read the main message. I have not read the up part. I'm going to where the underlying text is. Now, it now says, review the underlying text. If it makes the statement correct, select no changes needed. But I may reading the underlying text, examine the number of times an article has been shared to determine its accuracy. I know it is wrong, so I cannot use no. So already I know that A is out of it, because the number of times something is shared does not make it correct. I hope we know that. Eh?
Yes.
So it's a no. So I have not read the full details. I really don't need that full details. But that key thing there already, most times it's when you read the key thing and you're not able to get what you want, then you go back to the main text because you're working with time. So for a question like this, the best option here is option C. Trust online filtering software to be a complete solution in preventing students from reaching controversial content. So the question is, how do I save my students? So does it mean that I should tell my students? Said no. Implement a software that keeps them from reaching things that they are not supposed to reach. Is this clear? Okay, so this is another question that it's, you will consider as quite lengthy. Now, the main question itself is saying, your students work in groups of 3 to research planets in the solar system. Which learning activity now are examples of Microsoft tool to enable collaboration, shared responsibility, and work that is interdependent? Now, you know, I already told you, Microsoft Teams will help you to collaborate. Microsoft OneNote will help you to collaborate. So I am going to read. Sorry, I paused. It's a video, so I can't really take more than that. So, but there are key things I will look at. Now, let me tell you one thing. If I want to answer this question, look at the last part. All students must contribute equally to the poster, board, and oral presentation. I didn't read the beginning. I just looked at the end. Does the end already show me interdependent work in collaboration? Eh? Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why I said it's important that you know your rubric. If you know your rubric, you answer every question easy. If you know your rubric, you would answer every question easy and you would answer them correctly. Is this clear with us?
Yes.
So, Mr. Dennis, know your rubrics. Know your rubrics. And sometimes the ending part is where the key. So you're looking at it. Let me let this play a bit so that I can see what I can pull up.
Group's progress. Work together. It means they work.
Oh,
You
sorry, I went back
don't
too far.
need according to collaboration skill. A student in a groups.
Okay, now let's look at this second one. Oh, no, it's the same one. I want him to go beyond this level.
Use Microsoft Team to monitor of edit overall content. So here there is no collaboration because
see, okay. Now it says one student, are we seeing? It said one student begins an office sweep presentation about Jupiter. This is this. Each student uses Binge individually to research a planet and adds information to representation. 2 students analyze and edit the overall content. The 3rd student performs. It's let me let this. Oh, sorry, I'm pushing this too far.
authoring with the rest of the group. One student has you shared a link to another. 2 students analyze and edit the overall content. So here there is no collaboration because 2 students do the work of others. So this is not a collaboration.
So you see that
Okay, next.
editing and all that was just done by 2 students.
Over the time. So run over the time so that the work will not vanish without completing your work.
So
Here
I
you
would
have to
see
click here to analyze if there
let
is
me
no
see if I
collaboration.
can find this video on
You
YouTube so
don't
that you
need to
guys would.
schedule
Let me stop
a
sharing
video
this and go back
meeting
to my
in
Chrome. What? It's been a long time I got this video. I have to check. Let me see.
The video's name. Let's see.
Um,
No, it's like Christmas when changing the very short. I'm coming with them bumper to bumper of work.
These children don't read.
Let's see.
Make sure you pass. Any category, whether nursery, whether primary, whether master's, a student, a learner is always a learner.
Let me see. Okay. I'm coming. Oh, I'm still trying to find the video. I want to see where the video is. Once I get it, I'll let you guys know. Just hold on. It's been a very long time.
You pay now, you pay another 26,000. I see. They should give us the fact that we are saying that they should just give us the certificate. They should give us the certificate. We should collect the certificate. No, there's no way you can do it. It's Microsoft Cloud that will give you it's for only linking up to the Microsoft Center. You understand as the certificate are the traditional certificate. When you finish, you just put your name. This certificate, if you take it anywhere in our country, in the world, is recognized. You will tell them what they are right. But not the right is example. Like,
I'm not able to find it though. Oh, I think it must have been taken down. I'm trying so hard to get it, but I'm not able to find it. They must have taken it down. It's not there. Let me see. I'm trying so hard to find it, but it's not there. Let me see. Let me try another one.
We don't have to use them.
I know, but once you're done, I'll open my topic back. I'll just show you your tablets. Is it there?
After now, you do the knowledge construction. So we are not going to practice. We're not going to just use the Microsoft to see computer here now.
All those videos. I don't know why they are not popping up. Oh, I can't seem to find them. Okay, I'll find a way anyway for you guys to get it. Reach out to Mr. Albert. He should be able to make an arrangement for you guys to have one.
Okay. I should reach out to Mr. Albert because he can give us that thing. Give us a question prototype.
So now, the only thing I'm going to advise, please, I'm not saying that is what your exam is going to be. Are you with me? So don't go and say, let me go and cram it. That's my exam question. It's not your exam question. It's just like a sample. It gives you an idea of what to expect in your exam. You understand? The structure, the questions would not be word for word. It's just like, for example, there's no way when you teach your children, you give them word for word what you have taught them. But at least they have a sample idea of what to expect in your exam. You know that, okay, this is how the question is going to be structured. This is, I might be required. In some cases, in fact, there are some questions they will give to you. They call it the drag and drop. For those questions, what you're expected to do is they'll give you the rubrics 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they'll now tell you drag and drop. So if it is if the this thing is code, if you read it and you feel that is level 5, drag and drop level 5. If you read it and you feel that is level 4, drag and drop level 4 beside it, like that. You understand? So that's how the questions will come in different ways. So there are different ways. Some of them will just be yes or no. Tick if it's a yes, tick if it's a no. Some of them will be like what we have just done now. You look at it and you say, okay, no, this is the correct option. Pick one out of it. Some will be yes or no. So I read this is yes, this is no, this is yes. And then you move on like that. But trust me, you'll all be fine once you study. Okay? Okay, so any other questions before I leave? I have to run. My boss is calling me. Yes, any question?
No, don't worry, just guys continue.
Any questions, please?
Yes. This is Mr. Dennis. This is what I'm expecting the exam.
That's up to Mr. Albert. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the exam. What do you want to ask? What do you want to ask?
Okay. Any other questions, please? Okay. So I wish you all the best, and I look forward to hearing your excellent results. Okay. Bye. Thank you.
Before you go, my please.
Okay.
What's the pass mark?
It's 1,000. The pass mark is 700. You should score 700 out of 1,000. The question differs. Sometimes it's 37, sometimes it's 40. You might have 40 questions, you might have 37 questions. And it's I think it's in 60 minutes. It's 60 minutes, 1 hour for 37 or 40 questions.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. But just prepare. Reach out to Mr. Albert if he's able to get you, at least if you have one sample video, so you people who can watch the video and have an idea of what the question looks like and everything, and you can go from there. Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Thank
I can
you
hear you.
very much for how far you've gone with us, your personal experience. I must say, I've really learned from them. Thank you for sharing. And
Thank
one
you.
more, is it the last contact we're having with you?
Is it what?
The last contact with you?
Yes, this is my last contact with you guys.
Wow. How about the other two?
No, the other two will be handled by Mr. Albert.
Must share some ideas with us before you go now. Christmas bonus.
Okay, what do you want to know? What do you want to know?
Man, you know the one that is key. At least you've been using them. Pick one out of them. It could be Microsoft Teams, it could be the Minecraft, it could be the Sway, whichever one.
Okay, so let me just say this now. To start, like I always say, to start with something simple and easy. For example, I don't know if your school uses Microsoft Teams. You understand? I will be very honest and very frank with you. I hardly use Microsoft Teams. I know how to use Microsoft Teams very well, but I hardly use it. The reason is because, for example, now, like I said, I teach a lot of students in the UK. Most of my clients don't know about Microsoft Teams. They know Zoom. Everybody knows Zoom. Do you understand? So I use Zoom. And I have to pay for my Zoom license, unlike the Microsoft Teams where you can even download the normal free version and you use and you still have everything that you want. So it depends. But here is my advice. I always say this to educators. Make YouTube your best friend. I started my journey in learning education, tools, technology around 2015. Because I had the opportunity. I'll tell you this for free. I was working in a school. My salary was about 60 something thousand. I had this colleague that was working in that school. And the next thing, she left my school. She got a job where she was being paid 365,000. And I sat down and I'm like, Jesus Christ have mercy. Orimio, Father. I don't have she doesn't have 10 heads now. It's one head like me. So what is the problem? So I had to call her. I said, babe, how did you learn this? And she said, you need to have IGCSE certification. You need to know how to use this. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Now, I didn't have those things, but I needed to learn. And then I found out that to pay to learn those things was a lot of money. My salary was not even much that time. So where will I even bring out the money I want to go and pay? Do you get my point? To learn this thing. So what did I do? I went on YouTube. Now, I learned about Google Classroom because I tried to learn about things I know that are free. So even if you're using it with people, the people are going to willingly commit because they are not paying for it. You understand? So I went on YouTube. So this is what I was doing. And then I gathered money and I bought I never forget, for that laptop is still in my house. I always tell people it was my first laptop. I gathered money and I got a laptop. It was 30,000 naira, fairly used. And I got that laptop. So what I would do is I would go to YouTube and I will now search how to use Google Classroom. So when I search how to use Google Classroom, I would have opened it. As I'm watching the video, I'll be trying it out. The same thing, how to use. Can you hear me?
Hello, ma'am, please. We didn't get you. We lost connection.
Okay,
Please,
but can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I said
You
what
thought
I
at
did
that
was.
place, you now got, the lady prompted you to go online and said,
Okay, so
equip
now,
yourself with you.
yeah, so when I got that prompt, I put money together and I bought a fairly used laptop because I couldn't afford a new one. So I bought a fairly used laptop I bought it then, I think about between 25 and 30, I can't remember. And I bought that laptop. So I would check on YouTube, like PowerPoint. How do I create PowerPoint presentation? And I will start trying it out little by little. You understand? How do I create Microsoft Word? How do I use Word? I started trying it out little by little. And then as I was trying it out, I will also come to school and try to use it with my students. Because even if I wanted to land that big job, even if I knew I've learned how to use PowerPoint, if I don't practice it, I will not know the pros and the cons. If I go for an interview, they will ask me questions I cannot answer because I've never really used it with my students in the class. So that's why I said, start practicing little by little. Do these things small with your learners in the classroom. Start doing it. In fact, let me tell you this. If you go on YouTube, let me share something now with you to see. Just give me a minute. Let me pull up where's my Chrome? Sorry. Let me see whether this is it. No, this is not it. Sorry. I'm trying to share. My Chrome is open. Sorry. I want, okay, got what I wanted. So this is like this is YouTube now. If you click on YouTube and say how to teach, we talked about water filtration. Yes, we talked about water filtration yesterday, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, okay, see, I just found something, how to teach water cycle in primary classes. And I click on it. Now, you will see lots of videos on, see this one, I say teaching water cycle true story, the water cycle for kids. You will see videos that will give you idea of how you can teach some of these things in your classroom. Now, when you watch this video, it might not be perfect for your own classroom, but you have the idea. Then you now say, okay, based on my own kind of students, this is how I can tweak it. This is what I can do. What you're doing is you're growing yourself. Because at the end of the day, let me give an example now. You get a big time job or a big time offer from a big school and you have to go for interview. In your interview, you would see one thing they are looking for is you being able to say, when I was teaching XYZ topic, I was able to do this, I was able to do this. In the course of my doing this, I encountered this challenge, and the next time I had to teach that topic, I now did this. Makes it very realistic. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
So, and I also teach you people, by the grace of God, I've had an opportunity. I won Martina Teacher of the Year in 2019 for Ogun State. And how did I get to that point? I was doing some of these things innocently in my school. I didn't even know that there was anything called Martina Teacher of the Year. It was a teacher in the class in my staff room that said, Miss Olawale, come and apply for Martina Teacher of the Year. I'm like, what's that? He was like, I know you would win because I know you're a good teacher. Come and try it. I said, I've never heard of it before. He forced me until I downloaded the form. And when I looked at all the questions, I was like, is this what they're asking? I keep saying it. God favored me because, and I want you to know this, in everything you do, put God first and trust God. But as much as I have this thing, I always say, the Bible says, I would bless the work of your hand. As you're praying for God to bless you, what does God want to bless? Because, for example, now if I'm praying, God, I want to work in a school where they are paying 600,000. Do I have the skill to work in that school where they are paying 600,000? God cannot answer that prayer for me. Because there's nothing, if he gives me the 600,000 job, they will sack me the next day because I don't have anything to offer. So that's what I'm saying. I was going on YouTube. If I want to teach a topic like this, it said water cycle, how rain is formed, lesson for kids, I would have watched it. In fact, sometimes I will even download the video and I will play it for my children in class. That was how I started. YouTube became my friend. Nobody, I'm not lying. And if anytime I say that, I always say, the person that wants to say you taught me technology, come and stand in front of me. Nobody taught me technology. When I mean nobody. In fact, I became a Microsoft certified educator. The lady that certified me, every day, she's always like, wow, how did I know? I just went on YouTube. I was searching certification for educators. I saw Microsoft and I said, where can I find it in Nigeria? And there were a list of companies. And I clicked on her own company. In fact, I had to tell her, I said, your phone number on your website is wrong because I've been calling it. But coincidentally, because I wanted to, God sees your heart and he brings things to you. While I was busy lamenting one day, somebody in my church just said, that's my office. That's where I work. That's what we do. And I said, I want to get certified. And that was how I moved. So I would always say, prepare yourself. And prepare yourself doesn't mean that you must start with spending money. Now I pay for trainings. I'm doing a data analysis course that's costing me almost 3 million. I'm paying for training now because I can afford to pay now. But back then, I didn't have the money. So I started with YouTube that was free. You understand? I started with YouTube that was free. I went on YouTube. Let me show you something. Just how to create PowerPoints. Anything you want to do on PowerPoint, just say create slideshow with pictures. If you click on it, it will pop up with several videos. Now, let me just show you this guy, Kevin Stradvet, is one person I follow very well on YouTube because he does a lot of education content when it comes to Microsoft. So I follow. And when his video drops, I sit down, I watch. That's what I spend my own data on. I'm not good at Facebook and Instagram. I spend my own data on getting knowledge. Even on Instagram, I follow professional educators. I look for them and I follow them because I know that they constantly drop things that I can learn from. You understand? So that was how I started. So you don't need to start big. You can start small. But importantly, if you don't have a laptop, go and look for somewhere. If it is a fairly used one, save the money. Make sure it's a good place that they're not selling you a fairly used one that goes bad. Because at least my own fairly used one that I bought then, I used it for 3-4 years before I dumped it. So a fairly used one that is good. And you make sure you have a laptop and you start practicing these things small. You'll be amazed where you be in the next 2 years or 3 years from now. You look back and say, thank God I started at that point. Like I said, I started in 2015. When I finally left my school where I was working then, 2015, I spent 4 years there. I left there in 2019. I got to the school where I am now. And I remember a lady approached me. She said, do you know that when you first came in and they made you head of department and they were doing this one, they were doing that one? I was so angry one day. I was like, Kilode, who is this lady? Why is she just coming? And she also confessed to me and said that after she finished getting angry, that the Holy Spirit told her, I said, do you know the seed she has sown, where she's coming from? So by the grace of God, I'm benefiting where I am now, but I'm benefiting because I have value. You understand? I told somebody I was talking with one of my management team members the other day, and they were saying something. I said, why they know they tried that their nonsense with me? And she made something, say, you wait, then they fear, say you go leave them tomorrow. You can get to that point where you put your directors and your school owners on the edge where you are. In fact, they are more afraid that you are coming to drop letter than them trying to tell you they want to sack you, because you're bringing value. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I was teaching online. One day, my students were on holiday, and they said we should teach them online for about a week. They were preparing for their exams, and I was teaching a class online, and a parent wrote to the school and said, I have never seen a fantastic math teacher like this. My director didn't tell me, but the admin, the secretary, was the one that came and told me. She said, Mrs. Olawale, you're indeed a fantastic teacher. I said, what happened? She now told me. I said, I know my job now. So the truth is, in fact, if I drop my letter of resignation now, my director will call me, said, why? Let's talk. I'm at that point. But I didn't start today. Like I said, I started in 2015. That's like 8 years ago. But I have consistently grown myself. I've consistently been intentional. I just told you I'm taking a course. I'm intentionally improving myself. And everything I'm doing, I'm using it in my school. Because if you don't practice, if you know and you don't practice, you can never be effective. So it's one thing to know, but it's another thing to implement it so you're effective. And that's what I'm saying. Yes, you want to write an MCE and get certificate, but it's beyond that. That's why I was trying to use classroom scenarios for everything I was teaching you, because I'm looking at you now going back. Let your students come back next term and see a different classroom scenario. Let them come back next term and see that, okay, today's class, you're going to see 333, and you're going to work on this activity, and you're going to create a report, and you're going to do this. They're different. They will go back and talk. Even the parents will talk, and they will talk it in one place, and they will now say, my child's school is different now. In fact, if you need to see the way they are doing this, and I'm seeing that my child is improving in this, improving in that, students will start coming. I told somebody the other day when they were saying something, and I went to meet my boss for a salary increase. I had the boldness to go to her for a salary increase. But when I went to her, I told her, I said, Ma, when I came in, you people insisted that I take the junior class. Oh, they're out. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so no problem. So it's like I said, it's about, doing the little things. And when I was telling, I said, Ma, since before I came to your school, your population was at this. Now your population is at this. Before I came to your school, your JS3 students, when they finish, half of them used to leave. But go and check your record. Since I came in, they all don't leave. They move to SS1, and you keep them. By the time I didn't finish talking, she said, okay, so how much are we looking at? I said, now you're talking. So you can create that value for yourself, but you can't create that value if you're not making impact. You can't create that value if you're not making impact, and you can't create impact if you don't have the knowledge. So you have to test for knowledge. In fact, at a point, I used to have a very bad habit. When I go for trainings with my friends, and then the person puts the topic that they want to train on, I'll go on Google. I'll just go and search. I will not show the person. I say, see everything waiting on top the slide. You don't see and here, you don't see and here, you don't see and here. My friend will be like, you and Wahala. I said, I don't tell you now. All these things. None of, even the one I'm doing, I did not manufacture it. I went to Google. I sat down, did research, put it together, and I'm presenting it. The only difference between that person and me is that me, I'm willing to go and do the research and present. The person is not willing to do the research, so the person is paying me for it. I don't know if you get my point.
Yes.
So there's nothing that is abstract. Everything is online. That's why I said educators embrace technology. When you embrace technology and you use it, you'll be amazed at how far you grew. Ordinary your Google self, just Google how to do. It will come up. How to do, it will come up. Sometimes when I want to teach, I'll be like, I've been teaching this thing. What new? It's just like the chat GPT I showed you guys yesterday. I just type, how do I teach? That GPT will give me ideas. Then some of them I'll not go and look for it on YouTube to add to it. I'll add everything. By the time I package it, when I enter my class and I do like this, my children will be like, I have a class now that I told them I'm not teaching them again. They wrote to the school and said, please help us to beg Mrs. Olawale will not misbehave in her class again. In fact, once one teacher came and met me, a new teacher that came into my school said, Mrs. Olawale, is your name now I'm using in my class? I said, you're using my name how? He said, once they want to misbehave, I'll just tell them, I'll report you to Mrs. Olawale Muni. Okay. So what am I saying? You create that thing and you're working. And the truth is, you're creating that space and value for yourself. So as it is now, I keep telling people, if I see a vacancy where they put 1 million, I can apply. I know I will get it because I've grown myself to that point. What do they want me to bring on board that I cannot bring on board as far as my subject and the education space is concerned? And I didn't pay. I learned them on YouTube. I learned them on Google. Me, I'm very good with using my phone. If I'm sitting in your presence and you say anything, immediately I'm going to Chrome, I'm searching, I'm reading up, I cannot be lost. I want to know what is it, what's the more information on it, and I get it, and I grow from there. So that's it. So sometimes you need to pay for yourself. Sometimes you need to pay. There's some trainings they'll do, they said training is just 5,000 naira. I pay, I go. The ones I can afford, I pay and go. The ones I cannot afford, I will look at everything they said they are going to do in that training. I'll now go to YouTube and go and learn so that I'm not lost. But in all, be intentional. Be intentional. And the Lord will always crown it with success. For me, I think the mercy and favor of God has always been there. So the mercy and favor and God always works. But for the mercy and favor and God, the Bible says faith without works is dead. So the work must be there while you are pulling the faith for greater heights. So thank you, everyone. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you, ma'am. God bless you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Dennis, I'm waiting for my gift.
Yeah, Mr. Dennis. Okay, Mr. Dennis, can you put what bank do you use? Mr. Dennis, what bank do you use?
I use FCMB.
FCMB. Okay, Mr. Dennis, can you give your account number to, I think, Mr. Joseph? He will just put it in the chat and I can just send. Okay, you have my number.
Yes. Thank you very much.
57.
16.
Okay, man, talk about clinical worksheet.
10.
1635.
27.
Wow, it's about to rain heavy here.
Dennis
I don't understand this heavy rain in
Obutene.
December. What's happening? Just send me the account number. I'll call the name when it pops up and he can verify.
Okay. Thank you, Ma, for the gift for Mr. Dennis. Also, the twinkle paper.
I haven't gotten it yet, too. I think Mr. Joseph is still typing. Okay, sorry, let me confirm it. 1657951027. Let me see. First.
Okay.
City. FCMB's First City Monument Bank, Abby.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just hold on, I'm coming. Obute Dennis.
Yes, that's the name, ma'am.
Obute Dennis.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so I just sent it. Hello, Mr. Dennis. Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? I can't hear you if you can hear me.
Are you sure? That's my phone. There should be E.
We can hear you, ma'am.
Okay, so I've sent it to him. Okay, the twinkle worksheet. Oh, they're out again. Hello, okay, the twinkle worksheet. Someone should, okay, I think I just gave Mr. Joseph my number, so he could chat me on WhatsApp and I'll just send it to him.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I'll put them together and see. So I'll see you all whenever. Thank you and bye.
Thank you. Bye. We love you.
Love you all.
Hello, ma'am. Mr. Dennis, did you give a group account or it was an individual account? So it means it's your money.
Okay, tomorrow, that's what we are doing. Okay, we are done for today. We are done, right?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes.